I ride because I love being outdoors. I love the feeling of being on a bike, the exercise I get. It's cheaper than driving a car. I never have to sit in traffic. I'm always outdoors in the elements, and it's a subtle way to get exercise, and it saves me gas money.
What makes me most passionate about biking is my daughter and my wife. I want my daughter to grow up in a place where she can safely walk or ride for recreation, for transportation, all throughout her childhood and adulthood. And my wife would love to ride a bike for transportation to her job, which is, only a couple of miles from our house. But she, like most people, is really concerned about, riding with traffic or being passed too closely by cars. So I want to foster those conditions where motorists are educated, where cyclists know the rules of the road and how to ride safely, but also, more importantly, where there's good infrastructure that separates bicyclists from motor vehicle traffic and makes people feel safe so that they're more inclined to ride. Biking is great for the economy for a lot of reasons. For one thing, if you're riding a bike, you're saving a lot of disposable income that otherwise would go towards an automobile or motor vehicle use, maintenance, repair. Especially if you're low income, almost a third of your household revenue goes towards the ownership, maintenance, and fueling of a motor vehicle, and that takes up clearly a lot of people's income. If they could safely rely on bicycles, then that's a lot more money for them to then turn around and feed into local businesses. We also know that in terms of roadway construction and maintenance, really big capacity projects that widen the roads, they don't solve traffic, they just create more lanes that are full of traffic. And those projects are extraordinarily expensive for the limited resources that we have for that kind of public infrastructure, whereas bicycle and pedestrian projects cost a fraction of even 1 mile of roadway widening.
I think cycling makes a community more economically sustainable for two reasons. One, it allows people to hang on to their money more easily. So for example, rather than spending my money on gas or car maintenance, I can use that money and spend it in a local business. So it allows people to support their local businesses more frequently. In a lot of studies they've shown in areas where really high quality bike facilities have been installed, people who go visit businesses by bike, they stop there more frequently, so they end up over the course of the year spending more money on local business. Also, I've seen studies where for every dollar you spend on a gallon of gasoline, most of the money leaves the community. Whereas if you take that money you would have spent on gas and go to your local bookshop like Avid Books on Prince Avenue or the Daily Grocery, that's money that's staying in the community and supporting the community as a whole.
The number one way to make biking safer and more convenient is to improve our infrastructure. For too long, our roads have been designed and constructed with only motor vehicles in mind. And really, our roads are public rights of way. They belong to everybody. It's kind of a fundamental part of being a citizen is that you can access all the aspects and resources in your community, your workplace, doctor's offices, schools, churches, government buildings. You need to be able to reach those things to be a truly participating member of your community. And if you can't afford a car, or you just don't want to drive a car, or you're not able to because you're too young, too old, maybe you're visually impaired, if we've built communities where you have to have a motor vehicle in order to access your resources, then we've got a very unjust community.
Part of our bicycle recycling program at BikeAthens, we take donated bikes, refurbish them, and then donate them to low-income members of the community. And I know that there's one example, a gentleman came to us and he really needed a bike. He didn't have a job at the time, he didn't even have a house at the time. So we were able to give him a bike for free. We do all the maintenance on his bike for free, and he used that bike to go to job interviews, ride his bike to work. And currently he works over at the Steak and Shake. He rides his bike to work every day, and that bike has given him empowered him to get back on his feet, get to work, and join the economy again.
Many people are having the awareness and realization that driving a car and parking a car, it's not freedom, it's a hassle. And if we only have one option for people, then that's not freedom. Freedom is about choices. And if you have the ability to walk or ride a bicycle or use public transit or car share or use a car, then you've actually got a lot of freedom in your community. And so we're trying to really increase that range of choices that people have.